Hello and welcome to another edition of Stock Watch. As we kick off the trading week, we're hearing that a lot of the big oil companies around the world are really reaping the benefits of the big oil boom that we've seen recently, with prices of barrels of oil going over $80. And if you think about this time last year where prices were in negative territory, it's come a long way. But it's actually benefited two of the biggest companies, which are Chevron and ExxonMobil. And ExxonMobil in particular, which is America's largest oil company, posts a net income of almost $7 billion. And this is quite remarkable after it actually had a deficit last year of $680 million. So you can see how far oil prices have come in that particular amount of time. And Chevron as well, which is America's second largest, reported an adjusted profit of $5.7 billion and its best quarterly result in 8 years, which is quite outstanding really. So oil prices, as we know, they got pretty much crushed in the first months of the pandemic in 2020, when countries have obviously had a restriction on travel and leisure. But obviously now with the pickup in these sectors, we are seeing quite a hefty dose of profitability in these big American oil giants. And more remarkably, shares of both stocks were up on Friday, which we'll see shortly, and even as we'll probably open the trading today, they will be up again. And so far this year, Exxon's up 56%, while Chevron is up 33%. But you have to think of there might be a little bit of exhaustion after there is a COP26 meeting, and this is the conference of the parties in Scotland today and this week, actually, to see how they can reduce emissions and stop the use of oil, actually, as there is heavy pressure on the climate change that is actually fueling a lot of oil companies to reduce their emissions quite significantly, and obviously the use of electric vehicles as well, which is what Joe Biden gave a speech last night at the event to say that he's really going to try and push by 2030 to be mostly all electric. So we'll see if that comes into fruition and how much it might hurt the stock prices for a few of these big giants. So Chevron, first of all, as you can see, we had this kind of choppy, you could say a little bit undecided new pattern here, but now what I was waiting for is to beat the last peak, which is roughly about the $112 area, and as you can see, that has actually finished on Friday above that region, trading very far above the Ichimoku cloud as well, looking for a slight sign of exhaustion on the RSI, as you can see here, but it might not really come into any worrying territory for bulls at the moment. We're just going to see what the actual best way of the ascension is going to be, and if there's going to be any exhaustion as well. If we look on the 4-hour chart as well, excuse me, you can see this massive ascension here for the last few trading sessions. I mean, this is going back to end of September, so it's been quite a strong month of October for these big oil giants, where as I said, oil has surged over $80 a barrel for the first time in a while, and it's keeping momentum above $80 as well. We're hitting $82, $83. It's not really looking to sink back into not negative territory, but into the $70, $60 range. It's not looking at the moment. So prices are looking to really start pushing higher. As you can see here, with the assistance of the Ichimoku cloud, we are trading very far away above the top border as well. So that is another heavy significance that we might see even more push to the upside. I'll just keep an eye on this bearish divergence at the moment, though, just to see if prices do start waning. We'll see shortly when the market opens how far of a push we can get on these oil giants. ExxonMobil as well, go to the daily first of all. As you can see here, a little bit like Chevron, we had this choppy action. Sorry about that. We had this choppy action, not really, a bit undecided, but now we've broken the top peak and we're above the, attempting to get back above the $65 range. Again, not too much in the way of divergences on the RSI. So I'll see what's in store for ExxonMobil in general. And just remove some of the drawings so not to confuse anyone. So as you can see here, very vast V-shaped recovery, beating the top of this previous peak, which is a good indication that we might actually hit another high in the meantime, as I said, 56% growth from the beginning of the year for ExxonMobil, 33 for Chevron. It's very, very outstanding the way that these oil companies have actually come back. But it has been pretty predictable after I said earlier that the tourism and leisure industry is getting back on track. Thailand is opening its borders as well to tourists for the first time since the pandemic opened to 60 more countries. So again, you can just imagine how much it has hurt the tourism industry, and with this in mind, we are looking to get back on track with oil demand as well. So we could see basically in closing on this conversation, we could see that oil prices and shares in oil companies and oil prices will keep pushing higher. So don't be too surprised if we do see a very vast bull run until the end of the year, when companies are getting back on track with business travel, leisure travel, and these kind of things. So just to keep an eye on all these things so you're not missing anything when you're trading these big companies. So very exciting times for stocks, boosting higher and higher. And I'll put this video on our Orbex YouTube page. As usual, any comments or queries, please feel free to add them to the post, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Bye for now.